my name is HONORATA GRUZEWSKI with Crown Homes, and I have here today with me Kevin Foster. We will be talking about credit repair today in case you ever want to buy a home and you think you are in trouble.
Fantastic. I'm glad you invited me out this afternoon. We have a company here in town called TRW Credit Services, and we're a licensed and bonded credit services organization right here in Oklahoma City.
I would like to know, how have you started your journey with credit repair? It must be interesting.
Everybody wants to know how we got started doing this. So I'll take you back to 2008. That's where our story starts. And I can remember going to a car dealership, trying to buy a second car, and what ordinarily took an hour or 2 hours maximum to get something done was taking 3 or 4 hours. So I finally went into the car dealership and I said, "What's taking so long?" And the guy said, "Well, we can't get anybody to finance you." I said, "Well, how come?"
Wow.
He turned the computer around. He said, "Because your credit scores had a 460 credit score, which means that you can't finance a steam off a hot dog, right?" So I said, "Well, what do I do? That can't be me. You've made a mistake, right?" And so he said, "Well, there are people that can fix this problem for you, and I'm going to recommend somebody you call." And he gave me the guy's number, and I called him, and I enrolled in credit repair with this company out of Dallas on May 1st with a 460, and I went from a 460 on May 1st to a 781 by September 5th. So it literally changed everything about our life. We coined the phrase, "We take you from the outhouse to the penthouse," because that's literally what happened to us in that situation.
Fantastic. And tell me please, why do you think people are getting into the credit problems?
You know, what we say is that bad things happen to good people all the time. So there's divorce, there's medical problems, there's loss of jobs, there's all kind of things that are really out of our control, right? And so credit, it gets affected when your cash flow stops, or you just can't make your obligations, or maybe you've overextended yourself on credit. You don't really realize how to get yourself out. So there's solutions out there that can help you get back on track and help you live a better life.
So what will be the shortest time or the best way to repair the credit?
So if you're going to do this on your own, the best thing to do is to go out to annualcreditreport.com and get a copy of your credit report. That's the only place that's actually free. So you go out and get the report. You're going to have access to it immediately, and then you want to print that report off or save it to your desktop, and then get you a highlighter and go through that report line by line, because you want to look for any inaccuracies or anything on the credit report that you don't recognize. And trust me, you're going to find some inaccuracies, because we've never seen a credit report that didn't have some mistakes. So you want to get those mistakes corrected, because that's the key to really getting a true reflection of what your credit score should look like.
So how long do you think this repair will take?
Okay, so if you're going to do it on your own, typically it takes a little longer, because you don't understand the shortcuts and all the things that can help speed it up. But if you're going to hire a company, you want to, number one, try to find a company that won't charge you anything up front. The federal law says that you can't charge an upfront fee for our service. So you find a company that adheres to those laws, like ourselves, and our process looks like this. So we're going to, first of all, do an initial consultation with that credit report, go over that report line by line. We're going to again answer the 3 questions that everybody has, and here's the 3 questions. Number 1, can you help me? Number 2, how long is it going to take? And number 3, what is it going to cost? Right? So number 1, the answer we ask is, we say is, can we help you? Well, we're going to tell you whether we can help you. Number 2, how long is it going to take? We're going to give you a written estimate that's going to tell you the potential time frame for completion, and also what the potential charges are based upon results, not based upon a monthly fee that we want to keep getting a fee from you every month and drag it out as long as possible. The goal is to get it in and out as quick as possible so that you can sell the home, right?
Exactly. And well, you told me that you have some kind of fees, but approximately somebody who has, let's say like you had, 400 something credit score and not too much bad stuff going on, what is the amount we are looking
Yeah. So if I were to guess, I would say that you're going to spend somewhere between $300 and $900 to get the credit cleaned up.
Wow.
That's a pretty big range. But here's a more important question: is how much has bad credit costed me? Because what people don't realize is how many different things affect your credit. So if you have car insurance, if you get a better credit score, you're going to see your auto insurance rates drop. You're going to save money. If you have a homeowner's policy, it's credit score driven. A better score gives you a better rate.
Definitely, yes.
Credit cards, if you need a credit card, you can pay 29% interest rate. If you have bad credit, you might be able to get a 14% rate if you have good credit. So credit literally affects every area of our life.
You want to buy a home, you have to bad credit, your interest rate will go way up.
Exactly. Yeah, the better the credit, the lower the finance terms, right?
Yes, exactly, exactly. So for the young people, what advice will you give them?
Okay, so if you're a young person out there and you're watching this, what I would say is this. Number one is pay all your bills on time. Number two, manage your credit effectively and responsibly. What does that mean? That means don't get too much credit and manage the credit you have. Typically, you really want to focus hard on any credit card debt you have, and you don't want to carry a large balance. So what's the secret ratio is you need to not carry a balance of more than 30% of what the availability is on the card. And really look at that every month, because one of the quick fixes for improving your score is to pay down credit cards.
Okay, we're talking about young people now, a little bit older people.
You mean people my age?
Not necessary. I want to ask you about the bankruptcy, because I heard a lot of stuff about bankruptcy. Some people is, oh my goodness, it's the best thing ever happened to me. I can start clean. The other people say, oh my gosh, I just went through it. It took 7 or 5 years of my life. What's your take on it?
So this is for all my bankruptcy attorney friends out here that might be watching this. So is there a place for bankruptcy that's a good financial tool? Absolutely, no question about it. Is it a one shoe fits all? Absolutely not. So bankruptcy is not the best solution in all cases. So the reason why people file bankruptcy is because they think that gives them that clean slate, right? That fresh start. But did you know that you can get a fresh start with your credit without filing bankruptcy? So it's all about learning how to manage your debt and how to get delinquent accounts and charged off accounts under control so that you can start to move forward on your file. So you're right. How long does a bankruptcy stay with you? 7 years. How long from the time you file bankruptcy can you buy a home? At least 2 years. And so you can't outrun it. It stays with you forever. So bankruptcy is a solution, but it's not always the best solution. There's others that are a better solution.
Great. And the last question will be, give me a few tips people can do to improve their credit score.
Okay. So we alluded to one of them earlier, is to really manage your revolving credit. So make sure that when you go in to look at that credit report, that you don't have a balance on the cards of more than 30% of the availability. So what that means is, let's say you have a $10,000 MasterCard and you have $500 charged. So how to figure how much of it you're using, what they call it a utilization ratio. You take the 500 divided into 1,000, and that's a 50% utilization ratio. In other words, you're using half of your credit. Where do you want to be? You want to be at 30% or below. And remember, the closer you can be to zero, the better the score. It's a graduated scale.
Is it better to have a lot of credit cards and keep the low balance on them, or have one and just pay it off right
So
away?
when you're trying to build credit, you really need to have probably 2 to 3 revolving accounts. So one of the metrics that FICO measures is not only how do you handle revolving credit, but how do you handle installment credit? Now, installment would be auto loans and those type of things. So FICO actually penalizes you if you don't have the right mix of credit. So you want to have installment credit and revolving credit and be able to manage both effectively, really, to get to that better score.
Well, I guess we have a lot of information today to digest. Thank you so much, Kevin, for all this information. So tell people how they can find you if they are in a trouble. They can call you, email you, what form of contact you prefer.
So if you got a 911 issue, I say call us at 405-875-1047. 405-875-1047, or you can also bump out to the website at trwcreditservices.com. I'm Kevin Foster. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, you are very welcome. And my name is HONORATA GRUZEWSKI with Crown Homes. I am serving Oklahoma area. So if you're thinking about buying a home or selling your home you are living in right now, I am here. My phone number is 405-204-3935. And if you have any questions for us, you can write them right below there and ask us, and we will be happy to answer. Thank you so much. See you next time.